I'll have what she's having. And it's called When Harry Met Sally, the greatest rom-com of all time. So let's talk about it. Strap yourselves in, sit back, relax, and as always, enjoy the show. And with that, I want to say welcome home, movie lovers. It's your boy Rossi J, aka Ross Urso, back at it for a very special episode of Rossi Reviews. But before we get into it, my mission here is to keep the spark of cinema alive and invite everyone along that's along for the ride. Whether you are a movie fanatic like myself or you're simply just wanting to know what to watch and what not to watch, consider yourself home and you got a friend in me. And also be sure to join my community as I continue my journey towards becoming a Rotten Tomatoes movie critic. And also be sure to follow me on all of my socials. It is very much appreciated. This film has only been out for several decades at this point, so I would expect you guys to have seen the film. I am going to do a spoiler-free section in case you haven't watched this film, and then if you guys have seen the film, I do want to reward that side and dive into the specifics of what makes this movie so immaculate. Now, what on earth is this movie about? Let me tell you. When Harry Met Sally follows two college grads who meet up on a road trip to New York and spend the next decade crossing paths as their lives and relationships evolve. As their unlikely friendship grows, they're forced to confront a timeless question. Can men and women ever truly become friends? And that is the cookie cutter premise of When Harry Met Sally. Before I delve into my review, be sure to let me know what is your thoughts on this and what is your favorite rom-com of all time, because this video is coming out on Valentine's Day. I'd like to keep things festive and get a lively discussion down below in the comments. Cutting right to the chase here, I just cannot get enough out of this film. I would have spent hours on hours hanging out with these two characters. Now, early on, this film intentionally pairs them together, even if they are in different headspaces. And from here, it plays to that strength in building that anticipation of having that payoff. Now, I realize that the majority of rom-coms play to this as well, whereas this film, it organically develops that connection before getting to that payoff, while also providing realistic roadblocks along the way. And everything pays off because nothing in this feels forced or rushed. Another thing that this film does exceptionally well is letting these scenes unfold in natural time. Both Harry and Sally are given an opportunity to breathe and let loose rather than the film rushing to get from one plot point to the next. And this is a testament to Nora Ephron's writing. And above all, there is a ton of commentary and thoughtful remarks regarding about love and what it means. Love is complicated, love is messy, love is random, but it endures the test of time. And there is such a thing as destiny. And every time I watch this, I forget that I'm watching a movie. And that's the best possible compliment I can ever give a film. This narrative smartly subverts away from the typical beats and cliches we are programmed to see in a romance flick, but instead is enriched with amazing dialogue and sincere character development. That's what I want. I always thought I was too manly to open myself up to a romance film until I came across this movie. It completely opened my mind to the possibilities of what's out there, and there's quality in every single genre of cinema. And I'll forever be grateful for When Harry Met Sally because of this reason. Because of Nora Ephron's impeccable writing and the chemistry between Bill Crystal and Meg Ryan. It just keeps getting better and better for me, and I've seen it several times. And if that's not saying something, I don't know what is. It's time for my final verdict of When Harry Met Sally. Drum rolls, please. This should come as no surprise. I'm going to be giving When Harry Met Sally and it's absolute cinema. Now that I got the spoiler-free review out of the way, this is my warning to all of you guys. If you have not seen When Harry Met Sally, you get the gist, you know how I feel about the film. This is your warning to click off this video, and then when you're done watching it, join me on the second half of this video. Now, the first thing to talk about is we see a series of montages with couples that sit on the couch and tell the story of how they met. Some of their love stories are sweet, some are awkward, some are hilarious, but all of them feel real. And before we even meet Harry and Sally for the first time, the film communicates to us everything we need to know going into their story. First time we meet Harry Burns and Sally Albright is when Harry graduates from the University of Chicago. They don't know each other, and she gives him a ride back to New York, which is 8 hours in the car, and you learn early on that these two could have been on the polar opposite sides more. Sally is very idealistic about love, optimistic, structured. Harry, on the other hand, is very blunt and cynical, that men and women can't be friends because the sex part always gets in the way. What do you guys think about that? Can men and women just be friends, especially if you're attracted to them? And what I love right off the bat with this opening car ride is it establishes the film's thesis within the first 5 minutes, getting you on the same page. Which is ironic because Harry and Sally can't say the same. They debate relationships, they debate sex, they debate whether men and women can truly be platonic, and this conversation, it ends very awkwardly. No sparks, no romance, just friction. The film then jumps 5 years later to 1982, where they run into each other at the airport. Harry's engaged and Sally is dating someone. There's definitely still some tension here, still disagreement, but that edge still between them. And Harry, when he's sitting with Sally in the airplane, doubles down on what he told her 5 years previously, that men and women can't be friends. And Sally thinks he's wrong. They part ways again. And like I just said in the beginning of this review, what I love about these first two interactions with them is the film doesn't rush their connection, although you know deep down that they're meant to be together, and it's that anticipation of seeing that change in both of them to come together. Then we jump 5 more years later, and this time Harry is newly divorced and Sally just found out her long-term boyfriend is getting married to someone else. I don't know what bro was thinking. How can you possibly fumble the bag on Meg Ryan? To say she's easy on the eyes is an understatement. And Harry and Sally meet each other in the bookstore this time. Both of their characters are wounded. They're both vulnerable. They go for coffee, no debating, just two people who have been through something. This is when they become friends. This next section of the film is for all the cinephiles. If you're not really into the lovey-dovey stuff, something that When Harry Met Sally does is provide you with such beautiful imagery. The film cues the most comforting autumn montage in, at least from my opinion, in cinematic history. There's a lot of oranges and browns, and just the way that they're walking through Central Park and the sweaters and the way they're talking about relationships, and they're calling each other late at night. They're watching Casablanca together. Come on now. And just when the film wasn't doing this enough, this is when it absolutely takes its sweet time, letting their connection grow. No grand gestures. This, my friends, is the heart of the entire film and why I love it so much. This connection is challenged when I think the most pivotal part of the story happens, where both Harry and Sally are trying to set up each other with their best friends. Again, you know as the viewer that Harry and Sally are the ones that are meant to be together. But the film plays with that and challenges it all the way. And it's ironic because the friends that they're trying to set up on this double dates, they end up falling in love together. And one of my favorite shots of the entire film happens when They're on this double date, and it's when Harry and Sally are making eye contact with each other like, oh, look at us. I feel like this is the first real time that the characters are like, interesting. Subtle, but absolutely beautiful. The film escalates even more when Sally is having a rough day and she's feeling lonely and calls Harry to come over. They end up sleeping together, but the next morning, Harry panics, Sally feels exposed. The thing that Harry warned Sally from the car ride comes full circle and puts a fracture in their friendship. Back to the film's original thesis. Can man and woman really be friends? And when they go out to dinner the next day, they both mutually agree that they crossed the line, but they don't know how to uncross it. Now, to this point, we're building to the climax where Harry confesses his love to Sally. You know that it's going to happen, but it's more of how it's executed that really makes this the cherry on top. Sally's at this party alone, trying to hold it together, and Harry's sitting miserable in his apartment, and he's walking through the streets of New York. And again, another subtle camera shot communicates so much with 0 words. As we're watching Harry walking through New York all alone, he realizes that Sally is the one for him. He runs to the party. And even though I've seen this film several times, I'm jumping for joy, which by the way is absolutely chef's kiss. Harry bursts into the New Year's party right before midnight. Sally's furious, and he just starts listing all of the small things he loves about her.
I'm sorry, Harry. I know it's New Year's Eve. I know you're feeling lonely, but you just can't show up here, tell me you love me, and expect that to make everything all right. It doesn't work this way.
Well, how does it work?
I don't know, but not this way.
How about this way? I love that you get cold when it's 71 degrees out. I love that it takes you an hour and a half to order a sandwich. I love that you get a little crinkle above your nose when you're looking at me like I'm nuts. I love that after I spend a day with you, I can still smell your perfume on my clothes. And I love that you are the last person I want to talk to before I go to sleep at night. And it's not because I'm lonely, and it's not because it's New Year's Eve. I came here tonight because when you realize you want to spend the rest of your life with somebody, you want the rest of your life to start as soon as possible.
You see? That is just like you, Harry. You say things like that and you make it impossible for me to hate you. And I hate you, Harry. I really hate you.
It's personal, it's specific. Most importantly, it's earned. They kiss at midnight, and the film closes with Harry and Sally sitting on the couch, talking about their story of how they became right for each other. We cut to credits, and that is the movie. And with that, that's going to do it for this episode of Rossi Reviews. Thank you guys for taking the time out of your busy day to check out this video. And as always, keep on enjoying the movies one scene at a time. It's your boy Ross Urso, over, out, and cut.